From the National Storm Channel studios, it's your daily weather briefing with Chief Meteorologist Sam Lane.
And good evening, everyone. This is Meteorologist Sam Lane with the National Storm Channel. Hope you had a pleasant day across Oklahoma. It's been on the wet side in a lot of locations, even seeing some rotating storms earlier this evening. Once again, as long as this pesky upper level low is in our vicinity, we have to be concerned about that. Right now on radar, you can see that most of the rain activity is from south central Kansas through central Osage County, down into Creek County, also Lincoln County, and now moving into parts of western Okfuskee and northern Seminole County right now. You can see the motion on that is basically from north to south, and that's because the upper level low is over here in western Arkansas, and so all of this is spinning around this upper level low. When you get an upper level low like that with summertime temperatures, you can get thunderstorms that can kind of get a little bit out of hand, and also the wind shear is helping cause those showers and storms to start rotating. In fact, here's a picture from earlier. You can see that lowering wall cloud down in the southern part of Tulsa County around Bixby and the Hectorville area. In fact, we have some video here. Take a look at this. This was right near the road near Hectorville. You can see very clearly a rotating wall cloud here with lots of little fingers sticking down. So this is a concern. You can get those shear factors a certain direction, and given the right conditions, you can even get these little spin-ups that can produce damage similar to a small tornado. In fact, the other night, we had 5 confirmed tornadoes with all the activity over in eastern Oklahoma along the Oklahoma-Arkansas border. And this kind of thing is what's going on this evening, or it was earlier. Thank goodness that has now started to weaken, and we're not expecting anything like that tonight. Now tomorrow, we could see a reformation of that kind of activity in the afternoon hours, but we'll have to talk about that in just a few more months. Another big concern is the rainfall. We've had lots of rain across northeastern Oklahoma. Look at that. Just in the last 24 hours, over 3 inches in Stigler, almost 2 inches in Cookson, a little over an inch there in Stillwell, close to an inch in Miami, also in Jay, a little over an inch and a half there in Inola with 1.65. Hectorville and Bixby right now, the Mesonet sites are not reporting for some reason, but hopefully that data will start coming in. We're also getting reports of road closures on the highway there in western Cherokee County near Hulbert, and so that's going to be a problem. And also down in Worcester County, a road is closed as well due to the high water from Lake Worcester, and we'll show you how high Worcester is in just a few moments. Over the last couple of days, you can see that there's been a lot more rainfall. Again, just to the west, or actually east of Tulsa, almost 2 inches in Veneta, a little over 2 1/4 there in Miami, an inch and a half there in Jay, 3 inches there in Inola, over 2 inches in Stillwell, over almost 4 inches down there in the Stigler area, and close to an inch in Wilburton, and a little over an inch and a third in McAllister. But if you look at over the last 5 days, look at the amount of rain that has fallen across eastern and southeastern Oklahoma, over 7 inches in the Stigler area, also almost 8 inches down in Valiant in McCurtain County, and you can see this extends further to the west, with most places in northeastern Oklahoma right at an inch or more, and also a couple of inches out in western Oklahoma near Sayre, where they've had 2 3/4 over the last 5 days. Now, as a result of all that rainfall, of course, we have to be concerned about the rivers. Here's the Neosho River near Commerce. As of 8:30, it was at 19.3 and is expected to maintain that, perhaps crest at 19.5 as we go into tomorrow. And of course, with additional rainfall, we could see this increase just a little bit. But eventually, as we head towards the weekend, things will start to get back in its banks. And if we look at the Illinois River near Watts, right now is at 8.37. That was at 9:30. And that is actually starting to increase yet once again because of the rainfall earlier today is now starting to make its way into the watershed. So this forecast will probably have to be updated a little bit. So we're looking at perhaps an increase and then start to decrease again as we go towards the weekend. But we got to get this upper level low out of our area before the rivers really start to have a chance to get back into their banks. The Illinois River near Chewy right now at 9:15, it was 7.97, and it's expected to maintain and start to drop off again as we head towards the weekend. And if you're floating on the Illinois River this weekend, well, it looks like it's going to be, by this weekend, we should be below the action stage, which is below 9 feet. But right now it's at 10 1/2 as of 9:30, and is expected to continue to decrease and maybe bump up just a little bit as we go through the day tomorrow. And one final river, this is the Opoto River down near Panama in LaFleur County. Right now it's at 33.24 and is starting to drop a little bit. But again, there's been a highway closure in that area because of Lake Wister. And I'll show you the lakes in just a minute to show you just how high that lake is. Lows this morning were in the 60s, pretty much everywhere in eastern Oklahoma. A few 50s sprinkled in like 4 Acre and Winona with 58. Also lower 50s out to the west. Check out El Reno. They were down to 48 degrees this morning. And so it was a pretty cool morning there. This afternoon, highs were only in the 60s in east central Oklahoma, including my hometown Eufaula with 67, 68 in Stigler, as well as Salisaw, 72 in Tulsa, 70 in Skiatook, as well as Nowata and Veneta. But notice out to the south and west, it did get into the upper 80s out in southwestern Oklahoma with 85 at Hollis, as well as 86 in Altus out there in southwestern Oklahoma. Temperatures right now are still in the 60s, pretty much everywhere in eastern Oklahoma, even some lower 60s like at Cookson with 60 even, also 60 at Jay. Still in the 70s though in south central Oklahoma, 71 there in around the Waurika area, 70 also in Ketchum Ranch, and 70 in Granfield right now. So temperatures are pretty mild, and they're pretty much going to stay right where they are currently, because the dew points are so high. And here's the dew points. Look at all the 60-degree dew points. The temperature can't drop below the dew point. So these are a pretty good indication we're going to stay in the 60s all night long with all this moisture in the air and also in the soil. So we're looking at dew points in the mid-60s. 50s out towards the west, and even some 40s out in the Panhandle. All right, let's take a look at the satellite view. You can see quite a bit of thunderstorm activity, not only here in eastern Oklahoma, but also down to the south. This is really nasty stuff in Texas, producing extremely large hail, damaging hail, in fact, in the San Antonio area right now. That extends on over into the Houston area. And all of this is part of this huge upper level low that's just parked itself over the Fort Smith area, and it's not really moving anywhere fast. It is slowly moving to the east, and I mean so slowly, but the impact goes all the way out into the eastern plains of Colorado. You can see the clouds here moving from northeast to southwest, and that's all part of that spinning because this upper level low is cut off from the main flow aloft. And so we're just waiting for this thing to meander out of the way before we start to see an improvement on our weather as far as no more rainfall and starting to return to normal temperatures. You can see the clouds still over Oklahoma right now, and also the rain spinning around that upper level low. But like I said, we are going to see some improvement. Here's the forecast. Showers and storms tonight, and that will continue into tomorrow. Now watch tomorrow afternoon. We could see a redevelopment again of storms, especially on the eastern side of Tulsa. And again, some of those could spin up, and we may have a problem with a few funnels or so tomorrow afternoon. But we'll have to watch that pretty closely. But again, it looks like things are going to start to improve, certainly as we move towards Friday. So here's the loop one more time. Scattered showers tonight. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, a pretty good chance of scattered showers and storms again off towards the east. But eventually, that upper level low will start to move out and things will improve. Here's the GFS forecast on the rainfall amounts. Additionally, another third to half an inch possible according to this model. And if we take a look at the other model, the GEM or the Canadian model, it's saying the heaviest or the best chance of heaviest rain tomorrow will be off towards the east, which is likely. And then if we look at the ICON model, it's showing again around half an inch to around a third of an inch across our area, especially up towards the north and southern Kansas. And if we look at the NAM 3 kilometer, I think this is a little bit better model to look at. You can see a scattering of showers and storms tomorrow. And again, if you happen to get underneath one of those heavy ones, you could easily pick up half an inch, maybe even an inch or more in some isolated areas. It's kind of pointing up here in southeastern Kansas as the heaviest area. But again, tomorrow afternoon, I think from Tulsa to the east is where the best chance of the storm activity and the rain will begin once again. Here's the NAM 12 kilometer. It too kind of has an area down to the south and east and also up to the north and east. But basically from Tulsa to the east tomorrow is where the best chance of the heaviest rain will be. All right, here's a look at the temperatures tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. If you get up and around, we're looking at around 61, 62 degrees here in Tulsa. And about the same across the area, 63 in Hominy, 61 in Bartlesville, also Mulgee, 59 in Eufaula, some 50s up to the north and east. Once again, notice the winds will be out of the north and west, and then kind of turning back to the south and west ahead of the trough or the upper level low that's still going to be spinning over in this area by tomorrow morning. And then as we go through the day, by 1 o'clock, we'll have a little bit more of a northwesterly wind, 72 degrees here in Tulsa, 69 in Hominy, 68 in Stillwater, a little bit warmer down to the south and west, 75 in Duncan and 74 in Lawton, 70 though over there in Fayetteville. I think 77 in Tahlequah is doing it over a little bit. And then as we go through the 4 o'clock hour, 72 in Muskogee, 73 in Tahlequah and in Pryor, 72 in Bartlesville, about the same here in Tulsa, 73. Also in Stillwater, 71 in Enid. And notice out to the west, the 80s will be confined to the western part of Oklahoma. And here's the upper level low at that point tomorrow afternoon around 4 o'clock. It'll be sitting around over Harrison, but because its influence is so large, we'll still be dealing with the showers and storms on the backside of that upper level low. Then as we go through the evening hours, our winds will turn more of a northerly direction and temperatures will start dropping down once again into the 60s. And by 7 a.m. on Thursday morning, we should see readings in the 60s once again across our area. Today's Wednesday, right? My days are all messed up. This is, I believe, for Friday morning here. Northerly winds 60 in Tulsa, 58 in Hominy, 57 in Ponca City, 60s down to the south in Antlers and in Atoka, as well as Mena, Arkansas, still 50s over in northwest Arkansas. All right, here's the look at the 7-day forecast. We are going to see some improvement. Rain tomorrow, a 60% coverage on that, mainly from Tulsa to the east, with a high of 73. Then on Friday, 76, starting to dry out a little bit. Then Saturday, 79, really nice day, easterly winds. Sunday, 81, and then we just increase as we go through the work week. 81 on Sunday, 82 Monday, 86 Tuesday, and 88 on Wednesday, with just some partly cloudy skies, but things will start to definitely dry out as we approach and actually go above normal for a change. 84 is the normal high and 64 for the low by the time we get to the 3rd of June. By June 4th on Thursday, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers in the southern sections. And then on Friday, a chance of showers in the morning, a better chance of storms in the afternoon on Friday the 5th, 40% coverage on that, around 85 degrees. And then on Saturday, 30% both in the morning and the afternoon, 84. And then Sunday, drying out a little bit, but still a 30% chance of showers, 86 in the afternoon. Then we start getting hot again, 87 on Monday. And then we start to cool down again as we go towards Tuesday and Wednesday. And this could be because of a tropical system maybe trying to develop and form in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll have to wait on that. Again, that's way, 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 and we'll have to monitor closely. But the models are hinting of a possible tropical system down in the northern Gulf of Mexico. If it does form, it would be called Bertha, and that's the second named system of the hurricane season. And by the way, we're expecting an above normal hurricane season this summer due to the fact mainly because of La Nina conditions developing off the coast of Peru and South America. And I may go into that a little bit more detail if something does develop. May talk a little bit more about how we can forecast all that. But right now, the models are hinting at a tropical system developing, and that could be because of climatology as well. But Wednesday, a 20% chance of showers in the morning and afternoon, and a high of 85, which is actually not too far from the normals of 86 degrees by the time we get to the 10th of June. All right, now let's take a look at the allergies real quick. 5.2 today, getting a little bit worse tomorrow, even worse on Friday, then a little bit basically staying the same as we go through the weekend. Most of that's chenopod and hickory at the current time. Lake levels, they're high. Needless to say, look at Worcester, 17.7 feet above normal, and yet it's still flooding on the Poto River. Okay, that just kind of goes to show you just how much water is falling down into LaFleur County. It's still rising a little bit. Tempe is also not far behind at 9.1. Fort Gibson, 17.2 feet above normal and is still rising. Hudson's not as bad. It's around 3.2. Grand's at 3.7. The best lakes right now, if you're going to be going out this weekend, looks like Skiatook and Thunderbird and perhaps even Eufaula, 3.5 there, and is rising just a little bit. But as we start to dry out, of course, the lakes will start to return to closer to normal levels. All right, we're expecting temperatures to be way above normal, especially just to the north and west of here, from the 4th through the 10th, as a big high pressure center takes shape over the central United States. So it's going to definitely look like a summertime pattern with a cooler than normal for the Pacific Northwest. And on the precip side, of course, with a big high pressure sitting overhead, we're expecting drier conditions from Oklahoma all the way back into the Appalachians, also in the Delmarva Peninsula area, and also the northern plains into the northwest will be wetter than normal, as well as parts of South Florida and the Four Corners area. All right, that's a look at your forecast. I'll be back tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, unless, of course, there's severe weather, which will, of course, be letting you know about that. But again, I think the best risk, or the highest risk of severe weather tomorrow, will be to the east of Tulsa, in that eastern sections of Oklahoma where we had the storms on Monday. That's probably the best spot for the storms again tomorrow. Thanks for joining us here at the National Storm Channel. Have a great evening. We'll be back tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. Unless otherwise, we'll see you then. Have a great evening.
When severe weather threatens or strikes, turn to the National Storm Channel and Chief Meteorologist Sam Lade. Whether we are streaming from the field or broadcasting from our studios, our dedicated team of meteorologists are working hard to keep you and your family safe. Trust the National Storm Channel, because we are Oklahoma's weather authority.